Hello, this is Rupesh Reddy from Government Engineering College, Hassan. In this video, I am taking the first session of Module 4, that is IIR filter, that is Infinite Impulse Response Filter Design, which is prescribed for 5th semester students of Electronics and Communication Engineering. In this video, we will be discussing about Infinite Impulse Response Filter Design that we will going to take as introduction. Then we will be discussing about the IIR filter formats, and we will be briefing the steps involved in using bilinear transformation design method. And then we will be discussing analog filters using low-pass prototype transformation. To begin with, let's have this infinite impulse response filter design. Before starting the actual designing part, I just wanted to tell you something about infinite impulse response filters. As we are knowing in the basic modules, the infinite impulse response filters are nothing but a linear time invariant discrete time systems which are having infinite duration unit impulse response. These IIR filters are recursive. Recursive filter means the present output sample depends on the present or past input, or it may be depends on present and past input. Also, it depends on past output samples. So, the design of digital IIR filter involves the design of the filter in the analog domain and then transform it into the digital domain using various analog to digital transformation methods. There are many steps involved in designing a digital IIR filter. First, we have to consider the frequency response specification in digital domain, which is converted into analog domain, and an equivalent analog filter is designed by using one of the approximation techniques. Then the analog transfer function is converted to digital transfer function using various analog to digital transformation methods. And the last step is the design digital transfer function that can be realized using software that run on a digital hardware, or it can be implemented in a firmware. So coming into the actual syllabus, this introduction to IIR filter designing, first let us take the filter format, that is IIR filter format. So here, if an IIR filter is described using the difference equation, that is y of n is equal to b naught into x of n plus b1 into x of n minus 1 up to b naught into x of n minus m minus a1 into y of n minus 1 up to an into y of n minus n. You can observe here the b naught, b1, b naught, all these are the coefficients associated with the input samples. This is the current. If we consider x of n as a current input, obviously x of n minus will be the delayed input, that is past input. And also see, output of this present output of this IIR filter depends on the past outputs. This y of n minus 1, y of n minus 2 to y of n minus n represents the past outputs. So this represents difference equation which describes an IIR filter. And this IIR filter can also be represented using transfer function. As all of we are knowing, transfer function is nothing but it's a ratio of Z transforms of output to the Z transforms of the input. If we take Z transforms of this particular difference equation, and if we solve for ratio of Z transforms of output to the ratio of Z transforms of the input, we obtain B naught plus B1 Z raised power of minus 1 plus up to Bm into Z raised power of minus m divided by 1 plus a1 into z raised power of minus 1 plus a2 into z raised power of minus 2 up to an into z raised power of minus n. Let us begin this with, before going into this example, here you can observe here A1, A2 are the coefficients of denominator, B0, B1 up to Bm are the coefficients of numerator, and y of z is the z transforms of the filter output, and x of z is the z transforms of the filter input, x of en. Okay. To get familiar with the form of this IIR filter, let's have an example. See, in this example, what they have given is, they have given a difference equation where y of n is equal to 0.2 times x of n plus 0.4 times x of n minus 1 plus 0.5 times y of n minus 1. And they have asked us to determine the transfer function, the non-zero coefficients, as well as the impulse response. Okay. So what we have to do now is, we have to consider this particular difference equation and we need to apply Z transforms. And after applying Z transforms, we have to solve for the ratio of Z transforms of the output to the Z transforms of the input. So that represent H of Z. That is the transfer function. That is equal to y of z by x of z. We will obtain 0.2 plus 0.4 into z power minus 1 divided by 1 minus 0.5 into z raised power of minus 1. Okay. So from here, we can observe, see, the coefficients of the output or numerators are 0.2, that is B0 is 0.2 and B1 is 0.4. And coefficient of denominator, it is 0.5. Okay. So these are the non-zero numerator coefficients. Then to solve the impulse response, we have to take the transfer function. We have to rewrite this transfer function. H of z is equal to 0.2 divided by 1 minus 0.5 z raised to the power of minus 1 plus 0.4 times z to the power of minus 1 divided by 1 minus 0.5 into z raised to the power of minus 1. Using the inverse Z transforms and shift theorem, we can obtain the impulse response for this particular H of Z as H of n. Okay. So what we obtain for this is 0.2, it will be same, into 0.5 raised to the power of n into u of n plus 0.4 times 0.5 z raised to the power of, 0.5 raised to the power of n minus 1 into u of n minus 1. So the obtained impulse response has an infinite number of terms, where the first several terms can be calculated as h of 0 is equal to 0.2, h of 1 as 0.7, h of 2 as 0.25, etc. At this point, we can make some points to remember. The IIR filter output, that is y of n, depends not only on the current input x of n, but it also depends on past inputs, also past outputs. That is, it is depending upon recursive terms. Its transfer function is the ratio of numerator polynomial over denominator polynomial, and its impulse response has infinite number of terms. As the transfer function has the denominator polynomial, the poles or the pole of a designed IIR filter must be inside the unit circle on the Z plane for having stability. The third point is, compared with IIR filter, if we compare this IIR filter with FIR filter, our IIR filter offers a much smaller filter size. So the filter operation requires a fewer number of computations, but the linear phase is not easily obtained. The IIR filter is therefore preferred when a small filter size is called for, but the application does not require a linear phase. So the objective of IIR filter design is to determine the filter numerator and denominator coefficients to satisfy filter specifications such as pass band gain, stop band attenuation, as well as cutoff frequency or cutoff frequencies for low pass, high pass, band pass, and band stop filters. Now, let us consider bilinear transformation design method. Okay, the design procedure here includes transforming digital filter specification into analog filter specification just by using this transformation with frequency warping. Then, second step involves performing analog filter design. Then, applying bilinear transformation, we're going to see this later. Okay, applying bilinear transformation and then verifying its frequency response. Now, let us consider analog filters using low-pass prototype transformation. So before we begin to develop the bilinear transformation design, let us see the analog filter design using low-pass prototype transformation. Here, in this method, we are going to convert the analog low-pass filter with a cutoff frequency of 1 radian per second, called the low-pass prototype, into practical analog low-pass, athwa high-pass or band-pass and band-stop filter with a filter specification. Letting this HP of S as a transfer function of low-pass prototype, the transfer function or transformation of low-pass prototype into low-pass filter is represented like this. See, this is our prototype, and you can observe here cutoff frequency we have considered it as 1 radian per second, and this is our practical or desired low-pass filter. So as you can see here, this HLP of S is the analog low-pass filter with a cutoff frequency of omega c radians per second. The low-pass prototype to low-pass filter transformation here substitutes this S in the low-pass prototype function, which is HP of S, with S by omega c. So we have to replace or we have to substitute S by omega c in place of S, where here nu is the normalized frequency of the low-pass prototype and omega c is the cutoff frequency of the low-pass filter to be designed. Let us consider the following first-order low-pass prototype. So, which is given by HP of S, which is equal to 1 over S plus 1. Its frequency response is obtained by substituting S is equal to J nu into this particular equation. So we will obtain HP of J nu is equal to 1 over J nu plus 1. So S is replaced with J nu here. Then if we find magnitude gain of this particular equation, we obtain 1 over square root of V square. That is J square is minus 1 into V square. So plus 1 under the square root. So we have rewritten this as magnitude of HP of J omega as 1 over square root of 1 plus nu square. So we compute the gains at nu is equal to 0, 1, 100, 10,000. So what we will going to obtain as 1 by root 2, 0.0995 and 0.001 like that. The cutoff frequency gain at nu is equal to 1 will be equal to 1 by root 2, which is equivalent to minus 3 dB. And the direct current gain, that is DC gain, is 1. The gain will going to approach 0 when the frequency goes to positive infinity, plus infinity. Okay, this verifies that the low pass prototype is a normalized low pass filter with a normalized cutoff frequency of 1. So applying the prototype transformation S by omega, S is equal to S by omega c, what we are going to get is the analog low pass filter with cutoff frequency of omega c as h of s is equal to 1 over s by omega c plus 1, which is equal to omega c by s plus omega c. We can obtain the analog frequency response by substituting s is equal to j omega. So here s is replaced with j omega. So what happens? This becomes 1 over j omega divided by omega c plus 1. So if we take magnitude of this particular thing, magnitude response, this becomes magnitude of h of j omega will be 1 over square root of 1 plus omega by omega c whole square. Similarly, we can verify the gains at omega is equal to 0, omega is equal to cutoff frequency, omega is equal to 100 omega c, omega is equal to 10,000 omega c. All are gives the values like 1 by root 2, 0.0995, 0.01, like that. The filter gain at cutoff frequency, so omega c will be equal to 1 by root 2 and DC gain will be 1. The gain approaches to 0 when our omega approaches to infinity. So we can notice here like filter gains do not change, but the filter frequency is scaled up by factor omega c. So this verifies the prototype transformation converts the low pass prototype to analog low pass filter with a specified cutoff frequency of omega c without an effect on the filter gain. So this first order prototype function is used here for just illustrative purpose. The high pass, band stop filters using the specified low pass prototype transformation can easily be verified. We are going to see this in the upcoming sessions. This is about the first session of module 4. You can refer to these books. Thank you.